Girl, people don't need to know all your business. Like, y'all are getting to the point where y'all are oversharing y'all way out of job. And I have to say something about it because I am over getting on social media and find out that you were a crackhead 3 weeks ago. There's no reason why I should know that. Or what you were doing to your skin at 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you telling me that? And then when I go try to look for the reason, you just telling me because you thought I should know. For what? Let's bring back decorum. That's what, to me, privacy is. It's having decorum. Now, a lot of people think that you have to go ghost to have privacy and peace and serenity. But that's not a luxury that we all have. I don't know about you all, but I can't just decide to go ghost. I can't. My bills ain't gonna let me. My family ain't gonna let me. Y'all definitely ain't gonna let me. But what I can do, I can choose to be more selective. I can choose to have decorum about what I share online. Because what I say today will affect me tomorrow. You might not believe it, but I'm going to say it again. What you say today will definitely affect you tomorrow, especially when it comes to social media. Now, when it comes to my ladies who are trying to balance their feminine and masculine energy, trying to tap more into their feminine energy, you really need to go private. You don't need to go ghost. You just need to, like, decorum needs to be your best friend. And the reason why is, number one, a feminine woman holds all the power. Because that masculine man don't know what she's about to do. Y'all, when I tell you the way I be just driving these men crazy because they were like, what's she doing? She's not mad? Is she mad? I don't know. I don't. She's real quiet. You see, having, like, y'all know those family friends or maybe your parents that, like, when they get mad they go cry, they become quiet, they become real private. You know how scared you get, like, oh snap. Yeah, that's, it might not be the best example of power, but that is a type of power you have. And the one thing I do is, whether I like something or not, I go quiet. I just become very private because I like to see the way things are going to play out. And I noticed that when you are accustomed to oversharing your thoughts, your feelings, your words, you don't know how to control them anymore. And so a lot of times you overshare your way out of a job, you talk yourself out of an opportunity, you say something that you didn't mean to say, and now you're stuck apologizing when you could have just been quiet, been cute, been dainty, been feminine, and been private. Now, I know I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. People don't know unless you tell them. People do not know things unless you tell them. People cannot act a certain way or do certain things to you or know what triggers you unless you tell them in some type of way. Whether it's a sign, whether it's, you open up your mouth, whether it's the noise you make. Don't do any of that. Just, okay. There is something so sexy, especially for a woman that is private, because she creates mystery. And mystery is magic. That is how you draw people in. You don't draw people in just being an open book. Matter of fact, I have unfollowed and removed myself away from people who are open books because that's dangerous to me. Because I know if you would tell your business, your man's business, your mom's business, you won't have no problem telling my business. A person that is constantly just running off at the mouth and just putting her business all out on social media, those are some of the most dangerous people, in my opinion, to be around because they don't have anything to lose. And they're willing to use you for content, likes, and views. And I don't have time for that. Now, something else I learned when I became just a more private person is I gained a closer relationship with me personally, my spirituality. Because I didn't allow so much outside noise to take up my subconscious. I didn't allow so much outside noise to guide my judgment. When it came to a lot of decisions I was making with my relationship, with my business, with my future, I literally asked God, I was like, all right, God, is this something that you want me to have? Show me a sign. That was it. One of the biggest signs for me was when I got my course approved to be accredited at my college. I didn't tell anybody. I was just looking it up. And I was just like, okay, God, if you want this to happen, literally within that same week, a lady came up to me. She was the dean of my college. She was the advisor at my college. Then she asked me what I did and stuff like that. Long story short, she connected me with the dean. I met with the dean. The dean loved what I did. He submitted my proposal to the president, and now we're in the process of getting my course accredited. That it wasn't something that I just told everybody I wanted to do. It was something that I sat with, I meditated on, I prayed about, and I said, God, if it's for me, it's for me. But I'm not letting nobody know what I'm doing because it's nobody else's business. I don't need that outside energy. And another thing is if you are a content creator, the more you share is actually the worst possible thing for you. And the reason why is because content creation has a grade, right? You could either be like an A, and it's like, great, this person's going to get a lot of brand deals. This person is very clean cut. You can take their videos, you can put them in an elementary school, you can put them in a high school, you can put them in a middle school. You don't have to worry about anything vulgar or anything like that. Or you have an F, which means that there are no brands that's going to attach themselves to you besides an adult brand. And you have to be deep within the adult industry. And that doesn't have a very long shelf life if you're not trying to start your own business. And especially when it comes to social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're not pushing that type of content. So for those that's on here just telling their business, telling what they're doing at 3 o'clock in the morning to themselves and stuff like that, the reason why brands are not reaching out to you is because your content is dirty. That's not words from me. That's words literally they will say. You do not have appropriate content. So y'all remember what I said at the beginning of this video, how what you say today will affect you tomorrow? That right there. That is also why I decided just to get out of that relationship space. It wasn't because the content was what people were saying were bad. It was because I was putting a lot out about myself that I did not feel like it was necessary. I was putting out a lot about my spouse, and that was invading their privacy, my family and stuff like that. And although it wasn't all bad stuff, it was disrespectful. It's like I said earlier, when you are somebody that will put everybody's information out there, you might not think it's a big deal because you're getting views, you might be getting brands, you might be getting recognition. Like, yeah, my platform was going crazy. I was getting offers to do this and do that left and right, but I always had to think about at the end of the day, how is this hurting my family? How is this hurting my spouse? How is this hurting my brand in the future? Is this something I want to be attached to? And the answer is no. And a lot of times, the first thing a guy or a girl will look up is your social media account because they want to see type of content you're putting out there. Are you someone that blasts people? Are you someone that decides when they get upset they're just going to put all their business out there just for clicks and views? You don't want to do that. You don't want to be that person. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, you don't want to be that person because you attract so much negative energy to you because a positive person, especially in a feminine space, they're not going to want to come near you because they're going to be like, listen, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for you going crazy, putting my stuff out on social media, putting my address, putting my children in jeopardy. That's just not something that I've noticed positive men and women are attracted to. You often see them in a lot of toxic environments. But I'm saying this because, ladies, you don't have to go ghost to be a private person, to have peace, to just live a more serene life. You just have to learn how to use discernment in the things you say, who you let in, the way you say them. And ask yourself, is it even necessary for you to say this? If you are going to come on here and tell me something that is abnormal, that is illegal, that you know in the back of your mind, honestly in the front of your mind, you know that you should not be putting this out on social media. If you're going to come on there and say something like that, please have a reason why. Don't just be on here showing your business to the world for free, for 100 views, for a platform that might get taken down next week. Like, let's have a little bit more decorum, be a little bit more discreet about it, and understand that people pay top dollar for a private person. People pay for a person that knows how to carry themselves with discernment. If you're a content creator, if you're someone looking for a spouse, people literally go above and beyond, especially a masculine man. When it comes to a feminine woman, if she wants to attract a masculine man, she becomes private because that masculine man will do anything to protect that woman's privacy.